rid of a couple of boogers there. Don't want the Indian to have boogers. Did you know that kids that eat boogers are healthier than ones that don't? Did you know that? I'm not saying I did that when I was a kid. I just read that somewhere. It says it helps him develop immunity to certain germs. Anyway, as you will notice, his mouth has disappeared. I came back from wood carving, not last Tuesday, I think it was the Tuesday. It might have been last Tuesday. But anyway, this guy had such a neat looking expression to him. But he has, his eyebrows give him a different expression when tied to his mouth. This guy, his eyebrows are different, so I can't repeat that expression, although I really like it quite a bit. But the mouth he had on him before just was blah, didn't really say anything at all. So I wanted to change that. So I went in and I carved it away. And at the same time, I was looking up at the end of it here and noticed that it was a little lopsided on this side, so I evened that up at the same time. So anyway, I'm just going to experiment around here and see if I can find an expression that I like. I don't want him mean, don't want him mad, I just want him with an expression that's strong. Yeah, that looks pretty good. What do you think about that one? My biggest critic won't say anything. Let me raise it up
What does it say
just a bit.
to you?
There, I think that looks nice. So let's go with that one. Let me suit up here. Sorry it's taken a couple days since we had that last video, but we had sort of a emergency here. On our log home, they found a couple of rotten logs. I had some guys come out and check, and they said you're going to have some work on it. So I was fortunate enough to find a log home restorer, gave them a call, and they came out, took a look, and said, yep, you're going to have that done. So we had them out here, and they did some major work on the house. It's always worries me when things like that happen, to see someone come in and start removing things, removing the side of your home. It wasn't that bad, but they took out a couple of logs, and now it looks fine now. And they're gonna come back in a week or two and totally restore our home to where it'll look brand new again. Okay, I got the corners in. That always tells you more about the expression than the other one. So I'm going to take another look at this one here. Okay, well, I hope this is going to be it, because you don't get a second chance all the time. It's looking pretty good. Sorry, moving it around. When I'm carving, and maybe you're the same too, shadows really play a part when you're looking at something like this. Of how the shadows fall on the figure can tell you a lot about how you're doing. Now he's smiling. Well, what's the saying? You got to go with what you got. Don't know if that's a saying. Sounds like it could be. There, that helped it a lot right there. Well, you certainly don't look mad, does he? That sort of evened it out. Just a little curve on his mouth makes a big difference. I mean his lip. Look at that. Okay, said Hennessy. All right, now on to this. Now, you will notice that I have gone over the solid surface. If you look at the end of the last video, after I just cut this thing out, you will see that the surface of this was all rough from the saw. Well, with my knife here and a palm gouge, and also a very thin curved gouge here. See these Miller Falls tools? My dad gave me these back in the 70s, early 70s, and I still use them. They're not expensive. They certainly weren't expensive at the time. They came as a set. Here's some more of them up here. But they've lasted me all that time, and I'm still using them. I've got some other fancier tools up here, you know, the, what do you call it? Can't think of what the name of this tool is, but it's not a cheap one. These little palm gouges here, they're very inexpensive, but boy, they sure are nice when you're doing work like this. You know, you're cleaning up something and you want to remove a lot of wood. And speaking of removing a lot of wood, I jumped ahead a little and I dished out my back here. This is where what people think about what's the difference between whittling and carving. This is carving back here, because someone's not sitting down with a stick on the front porch watching the cars go by whittling the stick. This is concentrating on cleaning out an area, a lot of area, and it's not hard to do. But when you're doing it, remember that look at that, right there, that was hiding underneath there, underneath the surface, and then it just popped up. I keep going over it. It gets a little smaller. It's tough, boy. But anyway, when you're dishing out something like that, remember it's easier to take wood across the grain than it is to come down with the grain. See, I can take a nice chunk out there like that, turn it around, take another piece out, but coming down across it, it's not that easy. So just remember that when you're doing something like this, is go across this way first, and then turn it around and come back, and you can. Now the reason that came off is I caught the grain exactly, and my knife just went right along with it. It's almost even with the grain, so it's smoother. But up here on top where you're cutting through the fibers, it's not. Anyway, I dished this all out. It was hard to do, but anyway, I like to work on a surface like this instead of a rough sawn surface. It's just easier to do. So, looking at it, we've got our top of our fur and the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up here. And I just noticed, so you can see on this Indian, see how his choker is higher than the fur there, the robe. On the pattern, the fur is higher than the choker. Don't know why. Maybe when I did that pattern there for a figure, maybe that was the way I had it. Not that it's a problem, but anyway. So we're going to, this is how the figure is going to set. So we want to go down here. What we're going to do today is we're just going to take our knife and we're going to go down through it. Like that. to separate it. Then we can get our palm gouge. And outline that. But before we go any farther, what we also want to do is we want to make sure we don't cut that robe too deep. Draw that robe on here. Like that. Take a peek. And we'll do basically the same thing on here. All we're going to do today is we're not going to do any detailing on this thing. We're just blocking out the major areas. So you can see what I'm doing here, so I don't want to have to make Judy sit there and hold that camera the whole time while I take this down. I think you get the idea of what I'm doing. So I'll go ahead and do these two areas, and then we'll come back and work on these areas over here. Okay, just about finished with roughing this out. You can see we got the robe pretty well blocked out here. No detail yet, just blocked out. Major shapes. That's what we were after. All right. So now what we need to do is the neck piece up here. So we have to measure across here, and that's just about as wide as that thing is. So 3 inches. We will draw our choker in here. Like that. Okay?
Excuse me.
Hmm?
The choker's where the head goes in.
Right, that's where the head's going to go.
That's not a choker.
Hmm?
Okay, confusing.
And then we'll go start taking it out. Just lock that in my legs here. It just takes a while to get it down. You can tell it's work because I took my sweatshirt off. It's getting kind of hot. Anyway, I'll keep doing this. You see what I'm doing? I'm just gradually working it down till I get the choker relieved. Okay? So we'll come back when I'm a little farther along. Okay, what were we doing? Well, I know it was hot. You notice I took my hat off, took my sweatshirt off. This carving's hard work. So anyway, I've drawn a circle for the hole up here. You'll know it's not even all around here. We'll work all this out. We're just blocking things out right now. Here is the edge of his shirt right here. Comes down like this. Más o menos. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to put in the beaded strip. This beaded strip right here. Here's the edge of the shirt. Here's the beaded strip. And here's some fringe. Okay? So, we want to pick how wide we want our beaded strip. That's really not the best ruler for this, so I'm just going to use the other side. So there's where my edge of my shirt is. So that's about what we want for the beaded strip right there. So if I take a piece of cardstock, I lay that on there, make a mark, make a mark. Like to keep things even, and just freehanding it on there, I might not get that, so this is what I like to do. Alrighty. So we'll take our and it comes down. First of all, let me go get some of my research material and I'll show you the beaded strip and how it lays on them. Okay, here's some beaded strips on Indian Native American war shirts. You can see they come down over the shoulders like that. Some come down pretty far, some come down way down there, and some come down not so far. So it's, you know, it's here, there, if and and. But we like to keep it as close to the originals, the way it was, as possible. So what I'm going to do is lay this on here about like this. Just about like that. Like that. There we got our beaded strip on there. Now while we're here, we'll outline a little detail on the bib. That's the front of the shirt. As you can see, some are pretty fancy. I mean, but they all seem to have them. I'll have to dig back through here. There's a couple more shirts. They just come in all different patterns and decorations. That's what I love about Native American clothing. It is just so vibrant and so many examples of the way they did it, different tribes and things. So anyway, we'll keep it simple. We'll just keep it even with the line of our beaded strip. Find the center, which is about right here, and then go over. Like that, okay? So I'm going to even my line here. So there we have our neck. Like I say, that's not even around there. We're going to take care of that as we move along here. We've got our beaded strip. We got our choker. Actually, I think I'll change that a little. I like that better. Okay. So I know this wasn't an exciting video. Mostly it was hard work. But I'm going to stop it here because my thumb hurts. Pushing and pulling and on that blade. I got arthritis in my finger here. And it hurts after a while. So I'm going to cut this, might be a little short, and we'll pick this up again tomorrow or possibly even this afternoon if we can work it in, because I like to get caught back up again. So until then, I'll talk to you later.